Aerosmith.
Not his worst guess. I mean, it's not close, but it's not.
He did the WMMS 50th anniversary show.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Hey!
Ozzy Osbourne.
Wow, he sounds really good. He has a really good voice.
This is mid-'80s. I think this is the tour. Ultimate Sin was the album. I loved this album, although most Ozzy fans hated it, I think. I liked it a lot. I think this was the tour I saw Metallica open for Ozzy.
What a show.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, it was great. I think it might have been the last Jake E. Lee album, too, before the Zakk Wylde era began. Anyway, I love Ultimate Sin. I was reading that Ozzy and Sharon are decamping for the UK. They're leaving California because the taxes are too high.
Oh, I hate rich people.
Isn't the tax rate in the UK like 45-50%? That's why all those British celebrities moved to the United States in the first place. The taxes here are killing me. I'm moving to America. The taxes aren't that bad in Los Angeles.
Yeah, but you still have to deal with homeless people in traffic.
Well, they're talking about taxes. They're not talking about all that. They're talking about taxes. You don't think
that's
there's
their
homeless
public thing.
You don't think there's homeless people in London?
I think it's probably more to do with she's trying to get Ozzy away from all them
hoes.
Yeah.
He's like 80.
He don't
He's
still had a hoe. They were getting ready to get divorced.
Ozzy Osbourne is not hoeing.
He was hoeing. They were about to get
4
divorced.
years ago.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
He poked his hairdresser.
Oh, my goodness.
She was ready to kill. She was trying to kill him. Sharon was. That is not a bitch you want to mess with. Sharon was ready.
That was only a couple years ago?
This was.
Yeah,
It made headline
ago,
news, and she was like,
my
she had to
goodness.
take time off to talk because she, like, before that big scandal where she had to leave, she was just like, this whore's messing with my man. It's always these women, Ozzy can't do for himself, and I've been loyal to him. And she's like, and this whore that I trusted with my man.
What a great Sharon Osbourne he does,
His
too.
accents are so good.
All that's missing
so
is the red hair.
Oh, she was not having it. So yeah, no, Sharon Osbourne is not that lady. Everyone thinks that she's just like Ozzy Osbourne's wife. She had money way before Ozzy, and she does not.
Well, her
play.
dad was his manager. That's how they met. But she spent a lot of money in plastic surgery over the years, boy. You see like a picture of Ozzy and Sharon on the wedding day, you can't tell them apart. But I just thought it was really weird. We're going to the UK because the taxes in California are too high. Now, they have houses everywhere, so they have a house in somewhere in the UK, England, but he's 73, she's 69.
Nice. I think she just wants to stick it to L.A. I think she really has an axe to grind because they kind of chewed her up and spit her out.
Yeah, but they've lived there for a long time. He said it's kind of sad, but the taxes are getting too much. I'm sad because I really like staying and living there. If they do the taxes better, then I may come back. But again, UK is famous for having very high taxes. So I don't know. They would be much more privy to their own financial situation than anybody else. They have a country house in Buckinghamshire.
Buckinghamshire.
Buckinghamshire. Right. So they're going back to the UK.
Taxes for the rich, I feel like they're obviously not the same taxes. You're in a different bracket, but you get so many deductions. And
apparently not enough. If they're moving to their house in the UK to leave California, and he says, I really like it, and, he's got Parkinson's, so that's only going to get progressively worse. Maybe it has something to do with the medical care in England.
Oh.
I feel like
not that he can't afford health care, but...
Right. But still, I mean, if you don't have to...
Right.
But again, that's why the taxes are so high. That's the deal that those countries are willing to make.
I think it's also, I mean, in a place like LA where you're paying, taxes are crazy out there. But I think in LA, or like in England, I think that's overblown, the whole tax rate thing. I thought that wasn't as bad as it was.
Tax rate in the UK is about, for the highest earners, it's about 45%. Okay.
That's wild.
The federal tax rate in the United States...
Well, they don't take care of their rich the way we do.
Right. Well, they say 28%, and then there's a 13% state tax in California. So, I guess maybe they're talking about...
41% anyway.
Yeah, they're talking about, no doubt that taxes are very high in California. I was just surprised to see that the solution was to go to the UK.
Well, that's where they're from. That's home.
No, I understand.
Well, they're trading it. We got.
But
Meghan
if your
Markle
rationale is taxes are too high, it'd be different if they were like, we just miss dreary old England. By the way, I did get confirmation that our friend Rick has died.
Oh, how?
We'd been heart stopped, I assume.
No, how'd you get confirmation, dummy?
So we hadn't heard from our friend Rick. Just to quickly recap, we hadn't heard from our friend Rick, who called the show pretty frequently. We hadn't heard from him probably maybe since mid-January. And it got to be mid-February, and it dawned on us that we hadn't heard from Rick for a while. And so we did a little bit of digging, and it seemed pretty clear that he had probably died. Except we didn't know anybody that he knew, so there was no one to inform us of that. I went to a funeral of a guy that I thought...
Could have been Rick.
Much to Mary's dismay. I went to a funeral of somebody that I thought might have been Rick. He checked off enough boxes where I said, well, I'll go and I'll find out. Was not him. So then I get a letter from a guy who goes, hey, well, here's what happened. Poundcake then found, a couple of weeks later, we were just kind of in limbo with this whole thing. We had no solid information. Poundcake finds out that we still have Rick's phone number. And so I call that phone number, and it has been disconnected. And then I paid like a reverse service lookup thing or whatever, and it was attached to a name, Frederick Clayton. So while we were thinking Richard was what Rick was short for, Frederick ends up being. So there was a guy named Frederick Clayton, and so then we find that obituary, and he has in fact passed away. But we don't know any of his family members. So then I get a letter from a guy who goes, hey, I work with his brother. Can you send me some audio? And so I send him the quick kind of gibberish clip of Rick that I would play from time to time just because I thought it was funny. That's why I send him. He goes, could you send me some audio? I'll play it for his brother.
I just called in just writing some, just getting in there.
Right. Now, wouldn't you know that was your brother's voice? I mean, it's a silly clip. But anyway, he goes, hey, man, that's funny, but can you send me something else?
Well, I don't think that's what you want to play for his brother.
Right. I wouldn't.
No, but you could still determine if that... We're just trying to figure out if that was his voice.
He probably didn't want to play it, though, because he was like, he's probably in mourning.
He doesn't know the voice.
But he also doesn't know the context.
Right, but
hey, your brother called this show all the time. Here's a clip. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So he goes, do you have something different than that? And I said, yes, of course I do. Because last week, we got a call from a woman who was listening to a podcast episode from September and said, oh, there was a Rick call in there and blah, blah, blah. And so I played the Rick call from last September. And where we thought that he died because he forgot to hang the phone up. And I thought it was funny.
Yeah, either way. Okay, well, I need to listen more carefully there.
That's okay. That's all right.
All right.
What happened?
I don't know.
Did he hang up?
I hope he's okay.
Is he all right?
He's still there?
It's Rick?
Rick?
Is there sticking and moving going on? What happened? Is he all right?
Rick, you didn't hang up.
Rick, are you all right? He'll hear me asking if he's all right on the radio in a second here. 30 seconds.
Are you there?
Hello?
Oh, Jesus.
Rick, we thought you died. You didn't hang up the phone.
No, I was finished. I thought you were finished talking to me also.
You didn't say goodbye.
We wanted to make sure you were all right. That's all.
Oh, no, I have a stick and move, but I'm going to lay.
All right, thank you. Goodbye, Rick.
Hi, Rick.
All right, there it is. So that was from September 24th of last year, and so I attached that and sent it to him. And he said, my coworker immediately jumped back and said, that's my brother. That's my brother. He was speechless and confused as to how I even had audio of him. I explained that he was a regular caller to the show. Rick had been calling for years. He said Rick was blind.
Oh.
And he was so thankful to have the chance to hear his brother's voice again. And then he said, if you have any more audio, I'll pass it along, blah, blah, blah. Sad to know Rick's gone, but nice to have definitive proof. Thank you for your help with the matter. So there you go. So Rick's gone.
Very sad.
Very sad.
Did he ever mention being blind?
Not that I recall. I mean, Darnell, who we also have not heard from in a long time, longer than Rick. Darnell's a young man. He's early 30s. He was blind and infirmed. He was in a wheelchair or something. We haven't heard from Darnell in a long time.
That's sad.
So,
see, this is when you're like, there's no downside to positivity or being an optimist. Like, I didn't process any of it until this moment. Like, to me, I was like, it might not be him. It could be, we could figure it out. It might, and then now that it's like official, I'm like, this is the saddest I've been the entire time.
Well, yeah, because,
It sucks, man.
It sucks,
Yeah,
yes.
it sucks.
Yep. It sucks that we didn't get to say anything to him at the end or whatever, So anyway, whatever, if I get further information, details, of course, I will pass them along. But, I mean, what a bit of luck, though, that this guy goes, I think I work with Rick's brother.
Yeah.
And he did. Oh, God. I'm just looking at my screen and calls, and Dan's calling me. What do you want, Dan?
Alan, what's up, my man?
How you doing? What do you want?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic. What's up, Mary? Hey, I actually coincidentally saw Mary at the casino going to collect some sort of Target gift card with my buddy Chris. Like, I want to say 3 weeks ago. I don't know if you remembers that or not. We were out front smoking.
Yeah, you said hi on the way in.
Wait. So he's outside smoking, and Mary's walking into. Was this a Monday?
Yeah.
You were collecting your Target gift
gift
card.
card.
Yeah, it's gift card. No, that was only for February.
Oh.
They moved it to Thursdays now. So which
So you're
means
not going tonight?
I'm not going tonight. But yeah, he was standing outside, and he was like, Mary? And I was like, yeah. And then I realized, oh, yeah, I forget that I work
need a
in this
bodyguard
city.
now.
And so I was like, oh, hey, man, what's up? He's like, I listen to the show or whatever. It was a brief interaction.
Yeah. Weird. I just remembered that, and it was very strange. Like, my buddy actually pointed it out that it was you. I didn't know that was you. But anyways, I had a question for basically everyone except for Bill, because I consider him a wooden plank.
Dan doesn't like me.
Oh, this is Dan who doesn't like you. Why is he a wooden plank?
Well, I mean, if you don't get the reference, and I don't want to get into it. But anyway,
Well, no, that's why I asked. I don't get the reference.
Oh, I called in a while ago, and I said Bill was the most unfunny human being on the planet, and I said you could have a wooden plank sitting next to you.
Oh, yeah. This might come as a shock to all the people who call this show. I do not memorize the calls. They are not transcribed. I couldn't. Okay, go ahead, Dan.
He's giving me a run for my money.
Shut up, wooden plank.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with any of that. I had a question. Ohio. So your show is based in Cleveland. Ohio, voted for Trump 53% in the election last year. Not to bring it up, but I just had a question. If you guys are still happy, everybody knows you guys all voted for Democrats.
Wait, not to bring it up, or you're going to bring it up?
All right, I'm bringing it up.
All right.
So I just had a question. If you guys were still happy with that, and if you would have changed your vote knowing what you know now.
No, I'm I could not be happier that Donald Trump is no longer the president, Dan.
Well, that doesn't really. I'm asking.
You just asked if I would. You asked if I would have changed my vote. There's no circumstance in which I would have changed my vote.
That you would rather have Joe Biden as your president than Donald Trump.
I would rather have a wooden plank as my president than Donald Trump.
Squire 2024.
All right, cool. All right, that says everything I need to hear.
All right, thank you, Dan.
All right, bye.
Thanks, pal.
Yeah, I don't really mind that Dan doesn't like me.
I don't remember anybody that's going to throw some reference at me of their earlier call. I will not remember that.
You remember me? No, I don't.
You remember me?
Call back to something from 6 months ago.
Well, no, when you said Dan doesn't like me, I remember that, but I'm not going to remember what anybody says.
My favorite people.
Yeah, I didn't remember what he was saying either, because why would anybody remember that?
My favorite people who are the ones that call and are like, "Hey, it's me." I'm like, "Who are you?" They're like,
I never showed up.
They're like, "I call you all the time." I'm like, "No, you don't. I know my usual callers. If you call all the time, I will remember your voice."
I also, and I've mentioned this before, but it bears repeating, I also, unless your name is attached to your text, I don't know who you are. Like, people will go, "Hey, remember when I told you?" I don't know who you are. I see phone numbers, but I don't know who you are. But like Dan, Stephen Canton, these guys, right? Only know it's them texting me because their name is attached to the text, which I assume is like an auto function. People put their name on their text or whatever, and they pop up. So if Dan texts me or something, only way I'll know. So I don't have people's numbers memorized.
Hey, it's me. Only my family does that, and I'm like, okay, good. Now I can hang up on you. Glad now that I know it's you.
Alan surprised Rick was blind. He always called in and said he watched the Cavs and the Browns game. Wait, listen to them.
Oh,
I mean, on 100.7 WMMS.
I mean,
He never said he watched them. He would say, Bill, what's going on with the Cavs?
Yeah.
But even if he says he watches them or whatever, I think it's also one of those things like where someone in a wheelchair will say, "I'm going for a walk."
Do they
Yeah.
say that?
Yeah,
do people in wheelchairs say
yeah,
they're
they
going
do.
for a walk?
Come for a stroll.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
okay.
they'll say that. Like, we're going to go, because that's, it's just a term.
A walkabout.
Yeah.
You say either, I say,
Say, yo,
you say neither, and I say
you know,
either, and either.
tell me here about
Let's call the whole thing off. Yes, you like potato, and I like,
wow.
you like tomato, and I like
What's wrong with you, Cavalier?
potato,
Can get right.
tomato.
Why?
Let's call the whole thing off.
So, again, don't ask Poundcake what he thinks about the whole situation. He'll tell you. Okay, please. We've gotten... Stop, please. We've just got some bad news confirmed. Simply no way to...
It sounds like I'm tickling him in that clip.
You mean you're not?
No.
You
I
didn't
was
go
just
in there to
bringing up
give him a little
tragedies.
tickle?
I was just bringing up tragedies, and he's just giggling like an idiot.
Like an idiot. Poundcake. Wow. Always on the
idiot.
phone.
Giggle cake.
Thy Mule. Hello.
Oh boy.
Alan, my friend, how are you today?
Mary. Oh, boy. Yeah. Oh, what's going on? How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm good.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Mary, Bill, you guys are all
Nobody
right?
really cares how I am anyway. I don't know why I engage in this chicanery here. What's going on?
So, I just wanted to call, and I know you had just laid down the law for Dan, and that you don't remember. But I just wanted to make it clear that professionally, we do remember each other. Correct?
Well, yeah. I mean, you used to call and prank the show all the time, so I do remember that. Yeah.
It was very unprofessional of me, and I apologize.
No. Listen, it's fine. You didn't do whatever you want to do, but then we met face to face, and I feel like it got a little less contentious.
I think whenever anyone is in the presence of Dave Grohl, it changes them as a human. Just the smile.
Oh, is
and
that what it is?
Santora.
It was at the Foo Fighters show. That's right, before the Rock Hall inductions at the House of
Right.
Blues. There you go.
I just wanted to make sure that, I always remember you. I know you remember me.
Yeah.
Bill used to follow me on Twitter. I saw Mary perform comedy, and, I have lasting visions of Cody describing his intimacy with fellow men. So we're all very professionally connected, and we'll always remember each other.
Intimacy with fellow men.
Good for you.
Yeah, the immortal words of one Sebastian Bach. I do remember you, so I appreciate the call. See, now all these texts are coming in. Hey, it's me, Herbie.
Alan,
Herbie Versmells. Why?
Somebody called in and made a very good point. They said that
Good for you.
Rick has told us that he was deaf, blind.
Deaf?
Blind many
Now
times.
that would be
He
impressive.
did? He told us he was blind?
He had to stick and move. He has to have a stick to move.
Is that what he meant?
I mean,
So this whole time we weren't picking up on
you
that.
could certainly make
I thought it was a boxing term.
No, he had to.
you could certainly you could make a case for that, but I'm going to take him at his word that he was just being
Stick to move.
he was being an old timey swordsman and saying he had to move along.
I got to stick and move.
Wasn't stick to move.
Stick and move still works.
That's
Boy.
Funny.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Rick's dead.
So, yep, Rick has passed away. R.I.P. Frederick Clayton.
Do we know what day? Oh, we saw his obituary.
If his brother hits me up, I might be.
Well, we could look up that obituary. That's the right one, right?
Yeah.
Frederick Clayton.
Yeah, it would be in there. And I think it was mid-February,
Yeah.
mid-January maybe. Okay, let me take a break here. I will have those Cleveland Charge tickets for you.